What is up, guys? This is Alex and Derek. Welcome to the New Race Podcast Show. And yeah, we're back for another round. I think this is episode 6. And so, love to see you guys again. And it's been a while, right? It's been a while.
Yeah.
But first, let's just talk about a little bit of life, man. Like, how you been, man? It's been a while since
Yeah.
we've linked and had this talk again. But how's life going?
I've been chilling.
You been chilling?
Honestly, just focusing on being with nature and that and, grounding, staying
Yeah.
grounded. And we all know the world's like, depends on how you perceive it. I perceive it a little bit differently than, people who aren't, walking in grounded shoes.
Yeah.
But,
Hey man, that's why we're here, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that feels the same way you and I do, and so this is what kind of will help people out, But I mean, it's a lot going on, but we'll dive more into that in a bit. But basically, like anything new with your life?
gonna be moving.
Oh, nice. You're not moving out of the state, are you?
No,
Okay.
no, just into a different place.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
It's gonna be nice. That's one thing that's huge is having your own space that
Yeah.
even if you do have a roommate, but like the your energy and the like minus of you and another person is kind of on the same level.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, there isn't conflicting energies. There's energies that are able to elevate and kind of like grow and
Yeah.
become more instead of living in a space where you have to put up this barrier around you
Yeah.
to prevent the toxicity or the negativity of someone else.
That's true.
Trying to bring you down or manipulate you into thinking that you're something less
Yeah.
or that you're weak. And it's interesting, but like
No.
when you take time and you gotta really become conscious about that,
Yeah.
you realize like, wow, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
It is. It is a real thing, man. Like, and same thing with like, relationships too, or just general friendships. You gotta just be cool. You gotta just vibe with the same frequency. If it's any less, then it's just not for you, or it's not supposed to be for you. But speaking about relationship, I think I might be one. It might be in one. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, definitely. I guess that's something new about me. And I've been laying low for a while. MIA, I guess you can say. Um, no, but I'm happy, man. Really, I'm really happy. It's crazy. I'm not gonna share too much on social media because I really genuinely am happy, and so it's kind of crazy, man. And it's really crazy, and why not,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm still focused, doing a lot of of the things I need to do. Got a new music video coming out soon. I can't talk too much about that, but basically, it's gonna be really good, man. I'm just ready to hit the ballpark in summer. Hopefully, this will be a lit summer. But yeah, it's gonna be really cool, and hopefully a lot more of these too, cause
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, we're gonna be more consistent, man. We're gonna be more consistent in the summer. I'm telling you, like this, we're just getting our feet wet a little bit.
Yeah.
But guys, we're in Michigan, so we don't really like to work in the cold. I mean, we still are doing all of that. And it's funny because I heard of people talking about like the East Coast people versus the West Coast people, and people are in different areas. They really think that us East Coast, or we're not really East Coast, we're Midwestern because we're in the middle, but they really think that we're kind of like just like Doug, man, like because we work in the cold, we go through it, we really go through it, and they were saying like people in the West Coast, they don't know what the struggle is like. They got that nice warm um temperature, and just people, the atmosphere. It's crazy, but no, yeah, it's totally different when you're in the Mid East and or the Midwest and in the East Coast. It's totally different. But slowly but surely, I think we're elevating over here in this side.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely agree. That generally overall, we as humanity are becoming understanding that we have the power, and then each individual have their own contribution they can make. Let's say they have a gift, they're really highly intelligent, they're engineer, they have an ability to manifest massive business,
Yeah.
Elon Musk. And what's interesting about him, Elon Musk, is that he even stated that he might be slightly autistic,
Yeah.
but that just that just shows you that, wow, you know, look, he's done great. It doesn't matter, if someone's different like that in a way. It doesn't make them, you know, lesser. It
Yeah.
just and he shows you like, wow, he actually has like a superpower.
Yeah. Super
He
ability.
is a he's a
Yeah.
superhuman being. Like, I mean, look at the things he's done.
Yeah.
That SpaceX, NASA, Neuralink, um, PayPal, all these things, and he's just one person.
That's so
He's
true.
just one person,
Yeah.
and despite the things that he's gone through as a kid, his father being uh, um, very psychologically dampening on him, being very negative, would literally tell him straight to your face, "You're a loser, you're nothing, you're fake." And and you can research and look this up, man. That's why before you make your before you develop a perspective on someone, always keep your mind open and just kind of learn to listen more. Stop always assuming things that you know everything.
Yeah.
That's important. Like we as new race, that's like we're establishing that we're we're here to speak to you and to allow you, in order for this insight to kind of manifest itself within you, you have to first allow yourself to connect with God, with the universe, and kind of let go of all those negative those negative blockers
Yeah.
that you put up on yourself.
That's so true.
You know,
You're only limiting yourself, to be quite honest.
right?
Yeah.
And with someone like Elon Musk, he went through that as a kid, and that gives you a lot of insight on like who he is.
Yeah.
Like he some people think that, oh, he's this person, that. I was like, that's assumptions. You gotta feel and listen. You gotta really listen and feel. And what you hear is, if you just hear, you're not feeling, you're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listening is different than just hearing. You just hear blah blah blah. But if
That's
you
true.
actually, it's like his body language, everything. It's like everything's connected. To truly listen means everything's connected. That means you're listening with your intuition, or some people say your heart. It's all like when you listen, you use everything. It's all
Yeah.
your senses are, and you kind of you're able to perceive things a lot differently. It's almost like in a wholeheartedness.
Yeah.
And someone like Elon Musk, like he's really committed to kind of like making a difference. Everyone has their challenges,
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect,
Right.
and I think he's literally uh, he was put on this world to be a gift.
Yeah.
His main mission is to help humanity evolve,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
for a good sense,
Yeah.
incorporating technology in a positive way
Yeah.
to
I would say definitely with the technology side
yeah.
and advancing that side. See, that's where people like us come in. Like we all have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Not many people realize us yet. I mean, some are starting to grasp on the idea of new race and you and I. Elon Musk, yeah, he's a smart guy, super brilliant, intelligent, very focused on helping upgrading humanity, and with exploration and technology, which is great, amazing. We, on the other hand, as we work as a team, we're focusing on helping humanity evolve within. So we're helping people on a more conscious level and spiritual side, and it's all real because when you're focused within yourself and you unlock that true power within yourself and open your consciousness, you can reach many new heights, new ideas, more levels, and that's what we are trying to help you focus in. So
It's a together thing.
it
That's
is a
what
together
we
thing.
focus on, that ourselves, and therefore we're sending a message for you to focus on that as well.
Yeah.
And it's not just I, he, she, or it. No, it's a together thing.
It
We
is.
gotta understand, the more heart and minds we have connected to the same mission, the greater the change, the bigger the change, the bigger the shift. You know, that's how a movement is created,
Yeah.
and we are the new race.
Right.
For that fact, being there is this new podcast that's all the hype right now recently, and it's starting to grow. It's called the Telepathy Tapes.
Hmm.
This
Like telepathy, like to explain
telepathy,
it, like telepathy, like reading minds.
yeah, yeah. So the ability to perceive the thoughts of others
Nice.
without you,
Re-
physically or actually even knowing. It's just
Speaking.
you
Yeah.
can listen to the thoughts that are being perceived in another person's mind.
Right.
And um, there's, specifically speaking, they did a test. They have these a group of kids who are autistic.
Mm.
What they found out is that they could actually perceive the thoughts of others. Like they ran the test and like, wow, okay, this is legit. This is a real thing.
It is.
There's a Joe Rogan episode I want you guys to check out. It's actually legit. He was mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a girl that can actually read like hieroglyphics, and just she knew exactly. They picked out which ones that they didn't know or whatever. They just so she'll identify them and then interpret them. It's truly extraordinary. That's these are the times that we're coming in us to understand. Wait, are we more than what we are perceived to be? Wait, what else do we have in store? What else does God have in store for us?
Right.
Because not to everyone has their own beliefs, but in a universal sense, like if we were truly created in the image of God, right? Well, then we're probably capable of some pretty extraordinary things, some pretty
Definitely.
crazy things. So this whole you're cuckoo crackpot for thinking people can read minds or people have these crazy abilities. That's only in comic books and movies. But in a sense, if you've ever watched the documentary of Stan Lee, who one of the creators of Marvel,
Yeah.
he said that everything you need to know or all your answers to something to the effect of that is just outside your window.
It is.
I
I
was
agree.
like, whoa, he is the truth. He's like, everything that he's creating here actually is like, it exists. It exists. It basically, and he, someone like him, that's another gentleman that passed away. Stanley brought so much to this world. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a visionary, a creator, an artist, and he brought that to life. He had a deep insight on a lot of stuff. He created all these characters that kind of, basically show that we are capable of much more than what we think we are.
No, definitely. I've always believed in that there is just more to us.
Right.
Sometimes, if you want to be honest, and this is just an opinion, it might not be a fact, but I really do believe that. I mean, actually, it may be a fact. But, anyways, but what I was gonna say is like I think our brain capacity level is just so not where it can exceed the limit, but our brain capacity levels is so low because of like the breathe we air, the food we eat, the content we consume. It kind of just makes us evolve into beings kept inside a box.
Mhm.
And so I really do believe in probably there is some people that have unlocked more of their brain capacity level, but it's not just within your brain, but it's really within your soul. And that's what not a lot of people don't realize is, the soul is what brings your frequency higher and transform your energy to new things. And that's how you bring out ideas. That's just how you know, take action, and that's how you become successful, even, with being, a millionaire or a billionaire, but not that money is everything, but you need to have a high frequency in order to obtain that money. And yeah, but basically, I think New Race is more than that. It's just helping people evolve and helping each other grow as a society.
Yeah, Yeah, we're new race, like you said. It's we're not like a manifest. Well, that's a whole different thing.
It is. It is.
We're
Yeah.
here because my message is not that. That's not my expertise. I'm learning a part of that myself.
Hmm.
But there are many things to humanity like that all need attention, not
Yeah.
just one part. You
Yeah.
know, it's many puzzle pieces, many pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
And our main mission is to get the word out,
Yes. That's
and to
what it is.
understand that if you are thinking this way, that's normal. Actually, that's real.
Yeah. You're not crazy.
You're not crazy.
This is why we're building this, so you don't feel alone. Anyone who feels alone or seem or think that they're crazy, when really it's not. It's your idea. Sometimes people, even myself, I feel like I get a frequent download from like the universe, a random download to my brain, and I start thinking about, just random things, and sometimes it's just the universe telling you things. Sometimes you just know things too. It's your intuition. Um, but yeah, energy has a lot to do with more than the physics of law. I remember some random guy on Facebook, he was trying to argue with me about the law of physics and that basically trying to say, trying to invalidate what I'm talking about energy and consciousness because he's so stuck on the laws of physics within the earth.
Mm.
But I'm like, dude, no. I mean, I wasn't really trying to argue, but I'm like, no, dude, there's more. Like, the law of physics of Earth is just what's in Earth.
Yeah,
It goes way beyond that.
because if you're on a if I mean this is I mean we're gonna definitely kind of touch base in this in another podcast, and we're no experts or anything, but we research and we learn about these things, and it's good to know these things and to understand that we all have a level of common sense when it comes to this subject. When you reach a certain level, when you gotta understand or allow yourself to be open to the topic of quantum physics or
Yep.
physics in general and the workings of the solar system, you realize like the the physics of this world could be much different, in another solar system, in another galaxy.
Exactly, because the
Things could just
frequencies are different, the
yeah,
energy,
yeah,
atmosphere is
absolutely.
different. Yeah.
So like, um, and also like, how are we have a yellow sun, but like the whole idea, Billy Carson was talking about this when he was exploring Mars, and he said that, for example, if we were to go to another planet, there's a possibility that we may have abilities.
Yeah.
We may have we may be perceived as having super strength, or the great movie that kind of brought that to the light, that concept to the light, is John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
And that was a super dope. You guys should check that out if you haven't. It's an awesome movie. Freaking love it. Um, Adding to that, just keeping your mind open. Recently, like other existent life.
Yeah.
It just in general, it's just having an open mind.
Always. Yep.
There was this picture in Elon Musk and Joe Rogan that was brought up on there, and they were looking at it. Billy Carson has showed this. He's a huge. He has it's called the United Family of Anomaly Hunters. I believe that's his thing that he started. But there's so much knowledge and information out there, just showing like all these strange things. I'm like, hey guys, like, I mean, you can't a square foundation like structure doesn't just like pop up naturally.
You're right.
Like
No.
there is literally and we can throw an image on here and show you that. But there's literally, you can see it. Like it's literally like the ruins of what looks like the structure on Mars. And I'm 100% believe there's much more.
Oh,
100%.
definitely.
And he also brought up there was times that the equator of Mars was like 98 degrees. I was like, what? I was like, bro, who are they tripping? Who are they fooling, bro?
Yeah.
There is times where the temperature was way more adequate and livable on Mars and certain spots in the own states in our country, here in the country.
Yeah.
And so it's like I think I our understanding we that's the thing is having an open mind, a open heart, and saying, basically talking to God, universe, like, hey, I'm here to learn and grow and become more and become better and spread the message. you
Right.
know you kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So our perspective on that is changing. Like, we have no idea what Mars. There could be civilizations on Mars right now. We don't
It
know.
could. It could. And I guess a question I wanted to ask, and like I want to know what you think about this, but like, what do you think about us humans? Like, because I know a little bit of, I've done a little bit of research within humans, like within ourselves. So I just want to ask, like, do you think we came from something?
Uh,
Because I read the book, the reason why I'm asking is because, with that Holy Tablets book, and even Billy Carson, spoke about this too. It's like we may have, like, each of us, we may have, or we might have been an ass. Like, yes, God is real. I'm not gonna deny that God is real, but at what point does that ideology change? Because I don't think it's so much spiritual. I think it's more extraterrestrial, and I'm just gonna be honest. Because with Billy Carson talking about the Holy Tablets too, that same book I read, it talks about how, back in the days, you have the Nephilims, the Seraphims came to Earth, searching for gold. We had a lot of good resources of gold here, and they needed gold for their own planet because their planet was not doing so well. And they started genetically modifying DNA, and supposedly you know, that's how they're saying that us humans, that's where we came from. And lineage ago, and families after families, but that's just another ideology that they think that's how it happened. But I always wonder, like, where did us humans come from? I say we might be aliens too. Because just because we're humans, and there may be other, life out there, they might look at us like aliens, and we subconsciously don't think that. We just think that we're humans. But with that story goes with this holy tablets, you know, it's just crazy to think about.
yeah, the tablets, the emerald tablets, correct?
Yeah,
Emerald
that or that.
tablets, yeah,
Yep, that
yeah.
too. Yep.
It's very interesting. If you listen, Billy Carson, he is he is, I guess you could say, an expert, but he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? He even says it. It's like, even things that he's still learning.
Yeah.
Everyone's always, but his focus is on ancient civilizations in the past, and
Right.
he's he's literally devoted most of a large part of his life to connecting with all the people around the world,
Mm-hmm.
the indigenous tribes, the people that have actually been non-contaminated by media and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And that's why it's interesting, listen to what he has to say, because he's actually went out there and spoken to these, like, the tribes and the outbacks of Australia with the Aborigines, and with people, and, like, down in South America, and then in, like, Egypt, and so it's an interesting.
Right.
And he even believes in the creator. He even believes in God,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. He doesn't claim that he's a Christian, but he still believes in God.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you if he has a lot of content.
Yeah.
He even states that even the beings that came here understand that there's a creator.
Oh, they definitely.
So, um, it's interesting, and it could very much be that, we were created in some way like that. um I can't, I just don't know 100% no. I don't really, can't really say 100%, that's,
Right.
but it
I,
could very much be that technologies that we're doing,
it,
uh we're kind of doing the same thing already. We're genetically. That's why I'm curious. Like a lot of these, you see more and more of these people, and it's us. We're just evolving. Also, we're getting better.
Yeah.
But there's also cases where you don't know, but some people can actually spend a lot of money and have their child genetically engineered.
Yeah.
To be stronger, faster, be able to sing better, be able to do all these things. And so that's another reality that's arising. And I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, we as a community we're growing, we're learning, we're becoming more.
Yeah.
And but one thing's first is we got to understand we got to stay connected, with God, with our purpose as humanity is to um, maintain a connection with ourself, our inner self, and
Yeah.
do things accordingly to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. I'm saying this whole perfect idea needs to go out the window.
Yeah.
You see so much time on media
Yeah.
where they're going after this celebrity for that, and it's like this person is like in movies like Charlemagne,
Hmm.
uh, Timothy, is it
Yeah.
Charlemagne? Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. He just recently won some awards.
Hmm.
A great person to kind of uh, open your mind to. It was like, dude, I respect that. I
Hmm.
appreciate that, dude. You're an awesome person for
Yeah.
expressing yourself that way and showing you what someone else may be capable of in their own way.
That's true. I agree.
And I don't, that's the way I look at things. And nobody's perfect.
No.
I saw Jennifer Lopez. Like, if you watch them,
Mm.
there was some kind of weird chemistry going on between her and Ben Affleck.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Uh, I can tell you, I love Jennifer Lopez, awesome person. Despite the things that she may have been pressured into doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you gotta understand, like some people get put in a position
Right.
to where they're pressured into doing things,
I agree.
and you gotta understand, and the whole thing with like P Diddy and
Oh.
Jennifer Lopez,
Yeah.
like, uh, you gotta understand, and that people like him, and there's different people like him, and that's why it's important to learn to listen to these spiritual books, to listen, read, and understand these spiritual books, so they'll inform you. They've informed you multiple times of people of like this, or beings, entities, and stuff like this. To be careful, that's why you gotta be conscious, you gotta be mindful, you gotta be aware. Don't just like someone because they got a bunch of stuff and cars and stuff. That's the whole situation that happened to P Diddy. One thing about him, he was very good at manipulating people. He could find your weakness and exploit that. Like what he did with Justin Bieber. Now I'm not getting into that, but I'm saying, like, it goes to show you that you can learn from this. Now we become much more aware, and we realize, wow, those people do exist, and be careful, be cautious, don't listen to them, pay no attention to them, and if anything's happening, you got to make sure you look out for people who may be entrapped by some of those people.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot, man. I can't really speak too much about it. You know, there's just a lot of things in that industry. I've mentioned it before. I'll talk about the industry, but anyone I pointed to, I'm not gonna point to anyone, but I know the industry. I know a little bit what's happening, and not gonna say names, but even with trials coming up about cases like necrophilia or necromancy, whatever those two, same thing, same difference. Because even if it was necrophilia, I mean, some people are coming out to a conclusion like, why would he do this to bodies? Or he's just not right in the head, or maybe nasty. Yes, it is probably both. Maybe more nasty than not right in the head, but because there are people in this world who do practice things on this world.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, to be honest, witchcraft is real.
Mm-hmm.
Witchcraft is real. Energy practices are real. Just because it's not viewed in the public eye doesn't mean it's not happening behind doors. But there's a lot of things that happen behind doors that we're not really aware of. And then just with the media, it kind of just portrays life being perfect, and life, you know, just being not 100% reality, and it's creating us like a fantasy world that we can't see what's happening behind the doors. But there's things, crazy things are going on, and sometimes things like that can evolve. And I'm not saying it is, but it can evolve into practicing witchcraft, demonic stuff, because all of that is real.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you guys if you know anything about Africa. I haven't been there, but I have a lot of friends from there, and I've had very, deep conversations with them and stuff. And they're great people. I love Africans, man. Like, and people in general, everyone in general, like, good people. It's just media can really can really get inside. If you're not careful, if you're not conscious, and not mindful of the content you're consuming, you can easily be brought down a path that makes you crazy, makes you
Yeah,
begin to think in things that are just like, whoa, like, wait a minute here, buddy. But getting back to Africa, I've spoken with people, and witch doctors are very
yeah,
much real. And the things that go on over there, that's why we're moving in a time to where we have the ability to do things about bad things that are happening. And it's important to understand that it's about, maybe you have tools and resources, right? You may have the tools and resources, but what do you do with those tools and resources? Do you want to do good things for humanity, or do you want to serve yourself? You can. There's a certain sense. I like Mr. Beast. He's a great example. He's a very he's a gift. He has his own gift, and he's using that to do, awesome things.
you're right.
And he's done a lot. He's helped build like small home, like little village, like a little village, for people, like homes for people, and some same thing like Elon Musk. Um, so it's a very I guess it's how you take it, how you see
It is. It is. And that's another cool thing that you brought up, how you take it, how you perceive it, because many of us, a lot of us don't know that, you make up what you want in life, and basically nothing really exists. Everything is just an idea. Everything is just um, what you perceive. Like I see right now, for example, a microphone, but that's because we had this idea of making this a reality. The new race was an idea before it even started. The logo itself. I even had a vision of having a partner to talk with this about. This guy's here, and it's basically really what you perceive. And so, I mean, it's just really crazy how you can turn things around in life. That's what manifesting is.
Yeah, and for me, I just keep, stay focused, keep focused on, what I can do here and now,
Yeah,
and understand that we may have like a perfect way we want everything, but then you realize, if you listen to other people, they're like, no, as long as you are aware that you're more, that you're greater, that we're greater, that we are learning more, we are becoming stronger as together.
absolutely.
It's my intention is to always focus on humanity,
Yeah,
always focus on humanity, and with that myself grows. And
uh,
some of us may be here to grow spiritually,
right.
some may have the spiritual power and is growing physically to serve others. And likewise, for
Yeah,
example, I want to bring him up again, like Elon Musk. you
yeah,
know um, and there's other great people out there, like the kids and telepathy types who have abilities,
yeah.
who are perceived to have something that people thought only a crackpot and a dude that belongs in crazy house believes in.
Hmm.
Being able to read people's minds. Oh, you must be crazy. No, this is actually proven. This is real.
It is real, yeah. I was gonna ask you something because people are different minded. Like I always want to know, like, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a future thinker or more of a present thinker? How you move in life?
Um, I guess um, I try flow,
Hmm.
like flow thinker. I'm more like, where is things flowing?
Hmm.
Like, and it's like I get all these. I don't know. I just have a feeling, connection with new technology.
Yeah.
The acceptance. It's important that you begin to accept the change of the current structure, the
Hmm.
energy structure, everything. That's how we ultimately change as humanity because we evolve. We do things more effectively, efficiently. Things that are working in uh, coexistence with creation instead of completely destroying it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're headed right now. I I do agree, and I'm not trying to be political, but I Donald Trump, like, um, just I see that he's trying to make a step, and it's trying to for the people, not necessarily for himself, because you got to realize I'm 78 years old. I got everything. I don't need to be doing this. But he realized where the world was going, and he stepped in. And he's like, yeah, there's some things I don't necessarily believe. I don't really line up with, but we as humanity, we have to understand that our job here is not to judge everybody. We got to focus on, all right, what can we do? It doesn't matter what it is. We don't have to be the president to create positive change in the world. We can just be someone who opens a door for somebody in the grocery store, or who helps a lady, pick herself up after she's fallen. Just understanding that aspect. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. That maybe for you it comes to a point in your life where you kind of understand that. That's huge. Why? Because that impacts humanity. That changes the way we think about each other, the way we think and perceive things. That very act of you doing something kind and the act of humility is very much important. Just as someone achieving a great business, and that may be the way in which we achieve that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I totally makes sense. And the reason why I asked is because, man, I'm a huge future thinker. I am a huge future thinker. I, I do barely just think about the present, but when I do, I just do it. I don't really think too much of the present. But it is really annoying thinking about the future a lot because it does stress me out a little bit. Like sometimes I have 100 things in my mind what I want to do in the future, and it's just like, how do you do it? How do you want to do everything in a short amount of time? Because life is kind of short, guys. Like, life expectancy nowadays is like 75 years old, and honestly, I don't think that's right. I don't think 75 years old is normal as a life expectancy. Do you think that's normal? I don't think it's normal.
Um, no, I think it's more so should be like 100, 120 years old.
Yeah,
So that's like
definitely.
a more normal thing. But
And so they speak. They say that back in the days, people used to live like 300 to 500 years. Like that's just
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Um, there's it said in the days there's a verse says in the days of man were 120 years. So it is, yeah. There's very much possible that we could live very that long of time, and it
There's
was
a
different. It was different.
there is this one guy that's doing it already. I don't know if he heard about him. I forgot his name,
Brian
but
Johnson.
yeah, Brian Johnson. He's doing this movement called Don't Die. He's I think he's a cool guy. I think he's really really cool. And he's kind of actually inspiring me in all of this health awareness stuff, living at 120 years old. And because I myself, I don't know if you know, but I am myself taking NAD. So NAD is just this, you could do an IV or pill, and you kind of just reverse your age because age is a disease, guys. It really is. Age is a disease because you're not really people are not really supposed to age. People, at least yes, maybe aging is normal, but not as fast as normal humans are aging now. It's definitely not normal. That's why the life expectancy is low than ever nowadays. But I myself am taking NAD. I'm trying to reverse my age. I already people say I already look young, but why not keep that youth for as long as you can, and try to keep your health stagnant as long as you can, because people can be 50 years old, but really have the body of a 28 years old. So that's the idea of taking NAD. So currently I'm doing that right now, and I want to kind of just dive more into what that Brian Johnson is guy doing, is because I think it's a really cool concept.
Yeah, health is, I guess, always been important to me, but there's times where I went off and was eating, terrible.
It's hard not to
It's
though.
hard not to,
Yeah.
I do enjoy, some things every once in a while, but I'm coming to a point where it's like, is it worth it? And
Yeah.
just doing things more health conscious, like,
Mm.
treating your addiction to sweetness like in a way to where it's more health conscious versus eating stuff that is going to bring a lot of toxic and negative energy to you, because you're
Yes.
stressing your body out, and the where the energy, the vibration, the frequency of that food that you're eating, where is it?
Yep.
We don't really think about that,
Nope.
but us interacting with that could affect us and our mood and our behavior and everything else. It's so
Mm.
interesting, but becoming more conscious about that, it's steps. Nobody's perfect.
No. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because this was a video that I've done, you know, back in summer on TikTok. I talked about many people are thinking about, the cost of food, and not the cost of what's costing their energy. Like for example, many of us want to eat at McDonald's, get a dollar cheeseburger because it's efficient for you and it's less costly effective for you, but no one's really thinking about what's it causing your health, what's it causing your energy, because it is costing. It really is. Like, so I think that's a really good concept to start thinking about, is it costing me a dollar or is it costing me my energy? Think Try to think that way now on, because now in this day of age, I think that's a really important thing to ask yourself, because we are moving in this new era of energy, spiritualism, just, elevating from 3D to 5D to 6D. You can go up to 9D. Is it really human like? I don't think so. Has it been done before? I don't know. Maybe it has. Maybe that's what Jesus did. He
Yeshua.
was, yeah, Yeshua. That's what he was preaching of, elevation. He really was,
Yeah.
talking about Christ, and, but I think he really meant the Christ consciousness, because he wanted people to know that we were one and we are one. And I think that's what the new race is trying to remind people again, that we are one. And I'm not saying that you are a god, or I am a god, but God is within all of us.
Right.
And so I think that's really important to think about too.
Right. Yes. Yeah, my take on that is he came he came here. He was like, who knows? I mean, because when you go down that rabbit hole, you're like, whoa, like, dude, honestly, anything is possible.
Yeah.
Like, he could have been like, you know, God could have been like, humanity, like, these people need your help. I'm sending you here. Your mission is to um, show humanity at a time in which evil and darkness has engulfed it, and they're doing terrible things. To show them that there's another way, and that's not who they are. That they are greater. That they are much more.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did, and that's why so many people respect him, and and listen to him to this day, is because he showed that in a time where that thing was, that very much aspect and concept was being neglected, and
Yeah.
and you know he was a pure example of like what we um you know what we're capable and understanding that we're not here to hate each other, to kill each other, to give ourselves into all this darkness and evil. No, we are something much more beyond all that. We are greater than that. We are greater than the force of darkness. We are greater than that. We are very powerful human beings, and therefore, like in the Bible, it says that we are created in the image of God. You
Right.
know, therefore, what are we? Like we are like I mentioned before, we have, if that's so, then all we can do is open ourselves up to understand that, and and to kind of be curious about. I was like, all right, like uh, we are all amazing. We are amazing. Humanity is not a curse to the world. It's not a curse to the universe.
No, it's not.
We're meant to grow, to expand,
To evolve.
to learn more about this place,
Yeah.
and as a whole. And the movement towards space is huge. It's another thing, that's our steps.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think because I think, us being in the new race, we're considered free thinkers. I consider ourselves leaders of the free thinkers. Because if no one's saying it, who will? But I want to kind of just put this out there. Do you really think Jesus himself, or Yeshua himself, was human? I don't believe he was, to be quite honest. Um, the reason why I say that is because also on that holy tablets, we're talking about people back in the days who came on Earth, genetically modifying humans, or what we're calling humans nowadays. Um, there's bloodlines that pass through lineage of families, kings and queens who took over certain continent. Um, I think it had a lot to do with people being connected, and sometimes I feel like Jesus might have not been human, human physically, but soul wise. No, I feel like he was one of the people that were sent here on earth from God, trying to help elevate people, trying to get the word out, trying to, just make people fully aware. And people want to, if you think about it, it just makes sense. Yeshua could walk on water. He had these abilities to make people not be blind. He could do really cool things here on earth, that if someone were to do now, they wouldn't believe it. Um, yeah, I feel like his energy, his frequency was definitely a 90, and he was preaching a lot about, just elevation and spirituality. But it makes me think that he wasn't human. I feel like he was definitely had some sort of bloodline that, was sent here to help humanity.
anything's possible. My thing is I don't really look at that. I just focus on like his message and his mission.
Hmm.
His mission was exactly that.
Yeah.
He was sent here, or his mission was that there was a time where darkness was so rancor. People
Hmm.
were doing terrible things. There's just so much destruction and evil going on, and
Yeah.
it's like we can't have this.
No.
Boom. So someone came, and at that time, he arose and he was changed. He was able to just, I guess you could say like salvation. He was able to like open the hearts and minds of so many people, even people who were suffering so much confliction,
Hmm.
and it showed them like, no, you are love, light, and the way. Like
Hmm.
you gotta open yourself up to love, light, and the way.
Let me ask you
That's
this.
like his mission, and he changed so many. That and he believed that, um, understand that we are not here to be put on shackles of change. That we
Right.
are directly connected with God,
We are.
and at the time, of course, there are people who don't believe in you. I don't really understand. I don't really.
Do you read the Bible? Are you
I
familiar?
read some of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I read some of it, and it's actually when you go back and you kind of read these, you read some of the things that he talks about. Like he was really wise.
Yeah.
It's about like, you know, the whole idea. Like same thing as Mr. Trios with respect. Kind of like if you kind of understand Buddhism, it's like kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
But little different things. I think a lot of people get really crazy and fixated on, you know, they kind of go on this path because those people aren't Christians,
Mm-hmm.
or they ultimately sue them. Oh, they must serve the devil. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, dude, you can't. Like, you're going against what Christians believe. Like,
Yeah.
true Christianity. If you go back to the roots, like we are more. It's more of like a mystic,
Yeah.
very very deeply rooted in mysticism. Like, we're very much so, kind of like the Hindu. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, kind of like the Hindus, and so there's a lot of like essence to that. There's a lot of essence to Christianity that's redacted,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're in a time where we're unredacting that.
Yeah.
We're unredacting that part of it, and that's important, because it's all about love. Like Skillet, as a song said, love is the answer,
It is.
and that in a sense of like respecting. It's like we don't go about and run a fishing operation where we have 300 trawlers.
Mm-hmm.
Trawlers are basically like these uh, big boats that basically just wreak havoc on the ocean.
Yeah.
And recently there was I don't know how long ago it was. I think it was like maybe within the last couple of years or so.
Yep.
But there's a massive operation of some people say, I don't know what country it was. They say that these were identified as like these are Chinese fishing based company, or people that were operating from China, and they were running this massive trawler, so over 300 different boats, and we're just wreaking havoc on the ocean, just taking up everything.
Okay.
Um, that you have another voice that's like, no, this is eradicated all. There's a way of doing that, but you have to do it in a way that it still respects. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, take what we need, not just take everything, and just not have a conscious understanding of like our reactions. Like, okay, a cause and effect. Okay,
Yeah.
if we do this, what's the consequences?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that we can do this that actually kind of keeps things in balance? And that's like the message coming out now. You see a lot of it with like Greenpeace, I guess. Big oil. I'm nothing against like hydrocarbons or oils. Like, I don't think that that's affecting climate change at all.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that climate change is a natural thing. But
Yeah.
we can try to like resist it, and like do all these things that are trying to, like, we think that we're trying to slowing it down. But if some of the things like chemtrails and stuff like that,
Yeah.
um, there's there are many instances where they've captured professional teams, highly qualified scientists and stuff, have actually went behind one of these planes releasing this trail of, like, basically it's like a cloud that's being left behind.
Mm-hmm.
You see some of these planes go by. I don't know if you've been in California, you've seen it, all these lines across the sky.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
like, what is that? That's not a natural cloud. Like, why is
Yeah.
that just there? What is going on here?
Yeah.
There's something to that. Even Nicole Shanahan, who was the vice president candidate for Robert F. Kennedy when he was running for president.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Shanahan, she was also married to the co-founder of Google,
Uh-huh.
and she also helped develop AI for, I think it was LAPD,
Yeah.
to basically tracked and was able to target like people who are doing racial profiling.
Yeah.
But it just shows you, someone like that with open mind like that, understands that there's something going on and it's not right.
No.
So, that those type of behaviors, that's not right.
No.
There's the new race is like, we're a very logical, common sense based thinking. You understand that we're changing, we're moving towards better solutions for the world, for the future, new technologies, encouraging that if you're an engineer, let's say if mechanical engineering is something that you want to get into, look at these things that are coming up now. Connect with, if you're really that passionate about it, you already know that's what you want to do. I'm going to connect with this inventor. I'm going to work with him because I see and understand like what he's doing, how he's building this microwave pyrolysis reactor that converts plastic back into fuel, which is huge. It's a
It's huge.
step. It's not the solution. It's
No.
not the overall grand. No, but it's something that we can use. We could definitely implement and make it a huge part of our energy system.
Yeah.
Um, uh, you know, uh, Putting these in different places like waste management facility sites where we can harness and make fuel and use that fuel to for multiple different things.
Yeah.
But that's just one. There's different ways. So like lean more towards like you think and know and understand if that's something that you're truly passionate about, then go for it. You can't allow fear or, oh, look at all these people that have been killed. You can't allow that. Why? Because we're we're all God's children. Understand, like, if you allow that to affect you, it will.
Hmm.
And it will prevent you from doing that very thing,
Yeah.
right? So my message here today is to just open your mind up to that change, to these new technologies. And if you're that type of mind, like you going to Mars, going connecting with these new entrepreneurs that are building or that have built these new ways of harnessing energy, all these things that can be implemented into our society and into the world, and do good things and help a lot of people around the world.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought that up. I think uniting is the answer. That's what we're new race is what we're all about is simply uniting, not trying to like call out people, but more so like this is what's really happening and start thinking about things like this. But also, I don't know if you heard of the Schumann resonance. Have you heard of that? Schumann resonance.
I might have heard.
So, dude, a crazy thing happened about like I think earlier this week or last week. So the Schumann resonance, guys, it's something that kind of measures up the frequency of the world, and especially in different continents of the world. And we were all vibrating very high. Everyone in the United States, Africa, Asia, everyone around the world on the graph, we were raising really high. You know what that means, guys? That means we are all consciously evolving. We are all getting there, and that's really good. I'm happy because this just makes us people sound less crazy. But it's true though, because people are now growing into that concept of being aware and or being spiritual and elevating. So that's really great, and I think what that's why we're entering this new era. I think we are just now leaving the old era, and now we're entering the new gates of this new era, and I'm so excited because this is big, guys. And so pay attention, look up the Schumann resonance, and just do your research. I think it's really great. Any last words you want to say?
Uh, Welcome to the new race.
Welcome to the new race, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We just want to make sure that if you haven't already, please visit www.truegreen.com. If you go ahead and look into these clothes, you guys, go ahead and cop yourself a hat, some shirt. It's not a merch. So let me just get that straight. This is a brand, newracecode.com, guys. That will help support this movement. This will help us elevate, help you guys, and that's the whole point of this brand is something that we want to use to help the world. And yeah, and so thank you guys for tuning in. This will be also on Spotify. And once again, this is Alex, Derek, and peace out. We are out.